Hello everyone! Today I'm going to share with you some ideas and activities for helping your child with tracing and pre-writing practice. Tracing is an important pre-writing skill. Young children need a lot of pre-writing practice in order to develop proper pencil grip. Pre-writing skills play a big role in preparing preschoolers for writing letters and words, and they help to strengthen their little hand muscles. For these activities, I will be using pom-poms, popsicle sticks, a salt tray with salt that I colored with food coloring, some books, and some dry erase boards from the dollar store and from the thrift store. As usual, I will be sharing some free printables with all of my subscribers. Thank you all so much for watching my videos. One of the first things that we like to do with our preschoolers is teach them to use the little Pincer Grasp. I put together this activity. You've seen me use this before. It's just some bottle tops. I like to save a lot of bottle tops, and then I just use them for different activities. For this one, I just glued some bottle tops here. This is a cardboard. It's the top of a box. I put some little triangles to, it's like little ice cream cones. And so what my grandson's going to do is pick up the little pom-poms and put them on the bottle tops. That's 1, and then we have 2, 3, 4, all the way to 8. So as your child picks up the pom-pom and puts it in the bottle top, he's using his little Pincer Grasp. This helps strengthen their little hand muscles. These activities are perfect for helping your child strengthen his little hand muscles. Before your child starts tracing or writing, holding a pencil properly, they need a lot of activities, fine motor skills activities like this one. This is a fun way to practice using their little Pincer Grasp. This next set of activities, they're also fine motor skills activities. I'm using containers. I just made holes up here. I'm using some pom-poms for this one. This is to help strengthen little hand muscles, just pushing the little pom-poms through the little holes. This one, I have bigger pom-poms, and then there's a little hole here, and then you just have your child push the pom-poms in here. For this one, it's also a container. We're using some of these chips. These chips were from Target, from their dollar bins. But if you don't have something like this, you can use big buttons or whatever you have at home. For these two activities, I'm using straws and some containers we already had. Same thing. Have your child pick up the straws and put them through the hole. And then this one can use these kinds of straws, and the same thing. Your child would have so much fun, and as they're working on putting the straws in here, they're using eye-hand coordination as they're looking at the straw, and logic, trying to figure out where the straw is going to fit. Super fun activities for your preschooler to strengthen those little hand muscles. For this activity, I'm using this oats container and some popsicle sticks. And same thing, just putting the popsicle sticks in the can, and your child is working on concentration, hand-eye coordination, and strengthening those little hand muscles. Another thing that I like to use with my grandson is the salt tray, and we just trace our letters using this little tray from the dollar store and some salt that I colored for him, a little brush or his finger, and we're just going to practice tracing our letters. Another thing that I use a lot with my grandson is our sandpaper letters. These are perfect for helping your child trace his letters. So instead of using a pencil or a crayon, he's using his fingers to trace the letters. I showed you how to make your very own sandpaper letters with sandpaper from the dollar store. Check my video, my name practice activity video, and I showed you there how to make your very own. So these are perfect for having your child practice tracing the letters and not having to actually use a pencil or a crayon. For this next activity, this fine motor skills activity, I'm using a picture that I downloaded from the internet, and I put together this tray. I have some these little glass beads, some pom-poms, some pony beads. So what we're going to do is pick up some of these little glass beads and start decorating our castle. Again, as your child is picking up the little manipulatives, he or she's using her little pincer grasp, just having lots of fun decorating the little castle. Perfect fine motor skills activity. I put together this tracing binder for my grandson. I have some pages here, and I'll show you this in a little bit. Right now I'm going to show you some books that I found at the dollar store. These are tracing books. I really like these books. You can use the book just the way it is, but I went ahead and cut some of the pages. You can either use the book just the way it is or cut the pages and put them in this pocket protector or a sheet protector. This is also from the dollar store, so that your child can use the pages over and over. They have several of these. They're really, really good books. This one has letters, So your child would trace a letter, and then there's other little activities that they can do. Super cute books. This one is numbers, trace numbers, and it has like the number 1 and the number 2, and then your child would just trace. This one, let's practice 1, 2, 3s. And all of these books, you all, are from the dollar store. I like this one. It has the number. They trace the number 1, and then they write the word for 1 at the bottom. This one has colors and shapes. Super cute. This one page is yellow, and there's different activities they're going to do here, and they get to trace the word yellow. And then the next one is green, purple, orange, and so on. It also has shapes. So this one is for the circle, and they get to trace the circles down here. Super cute books, and like I said, they're all from the dollar store. This one is pre-K math, and again, you can use for tracing practice. They're like this page, you're going to match each group with the same number of items. Like this has 4 flowers, so then they would trace to the 4 bees, and then 3 flowers, 3 bees, and so on. Super cute books. This one is writing book. So if your child is already writing, here's the number 1, then the word for 1, and then they write it by themselves over here. This one, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and so on. And then a little bit more tracing over here. Super cute books. This one I got at the thrift store. I actually paid $0.25 for this. This is a Melissa and Doug book, and you're supposed to use tape with it, but we have been using it with a dry erase marker, and we're just tracing. Super fun book. I only paid 25 cents for this book at the thrift store. So always encouraging you to use whatever it is that you find at the thrift store or at the dollar store, or what you have at home. This is my grandson's tracing binder that I put together for him. We start out with tracing horizontal lines. It's important that children learn to trace from left to right, because once they start reading or writing, we read from left to right. So we start with horizontal lines. Then we move to vertical lines. Here's some monkey and the bananas are up here, a squirrel, and there's some acorns. Then we move to diagonal lines. So as your child is learning to trace the lines, this is preparing him or her for when he starts forming words. We then move to curved lines. And then the last thing that we do is we move to zigzag lines. So all of this is important as we're teaching our preschooler to trace and tracing should be done on a daily basis. Every day we should be practicing tracing activities. You can do the tracing with a dry erase marker, and then the next day, instead of using a marker, you can use a manipulative. Like for this horizontal line, I'm going to be using some of these little gold nuggets. You've seen me use this before. It's just some little pebbles that I spray painted, but it is still the same idea. We're still tracing the line, but this time we're using a manipulative. It's just another fun way to have your child practice tracing and practice using the manipulative with his little pincer grasp. We can use mini erasers. If we have mini erasers, we can use that. Some buttons, whatever it is that you have at home, your child can use, and you're varying the activity. They're not just tracing with a dry erase marker. Now they're using little mini erasers or buttons, whatever it is that you have at home. These are the pages that I cut from the book, and I laminated them and I put them in the binder. Got these from this book. So that's just an idea of something that you can do. Also, a lot of these printables I created myself. I'll go ahead and link them all below. Another thing that you can do is cut some of the printables into little strips and put them, I laminated these and I put them in a bag for my grandson. I put a marker and a little dry eraser, and then he can just carry this around and then work on his tracing activities. I really like this writing paper. It's Smart Start writing paper. It comes with 40 sheets. I like that the lines are color coded. The top line is blue, like the sky. Then this bottom line is green, like the grass that is on the ground. And then the red dotted line in the middle is the fence. So as I'm teaching my grandson about, forming his letters, this color coding allows him to quickly understand the concept of lines and spaces. For example, let's say we're going to work on forming the letter L. I went ahead and tore a page and laminated it so you can see it over here. So if we're going to be working with the letter L, I would tell him, all right, we're going to start at the top, go to the sky, and bring the line down all the way to the ground, to the green line. Okay, the next step, we're going to take it to the side. We stay on the green line, on the ground. From the sky to the ground, and then we're going to go to the side. I really, really love this paper, y'all. I bought this on Amazon. I want to say I paid $8 for these, but it's 40 sheets. Totally worth it, y'all. Smart Start writing paper. This is a dry erase board from the dollar store. And I went ahead and I used some of my Sharpies. To trace a blue line for the top and a green line at the bottom, and then the little red dotted line in the middle. I went ahead and traced them with a Sharpie. It's a permanent marker. So this is the perfect way for my grandson to practice writing his letters on this dry erase little board from the dollar store. So if you want to do that, that is a great idea. Another thing you can do, they have these little boards at the dollar store, and the same thing. I traced a blue line. This is a permanent marker, and then the dotted line here in red, and then the bottom line in green. And my grandson loves to play with this. You know, he can practice tracing his letters here, and then you just erase down here, and you can keep using this over and over. This is from the dollar store. You can find these at Dollar Tree for $1. They're little magnetic drawing boards. I also found these boards. They're dry erase boards. They're from the dollar store. This one is the Wipe Clean Board Print and Play. They're by Crayola. This one has all the letters of the alphabet, and at the bottom your child can print their name. And then on the back side it says my letter, so you would put a letter here and then they practice writing their letter here. I am probably going to do the same thing I did with the other board. I'm probably going to trace the lines with my Sharpie so that he can practice over and over on these little boards from the dollar store. This one also has the lines. It's also by Crayola. And then the back, it says squiggle and doodle. And then they can use these lines and then be creative and draw something. These are both from Dollar Tree. These are by Crayola. This is the print and play and the write and play. I also picked up this dry erase markers. There's 4 in a package for $1. These are also from Dollar Tree. I also picked up this dry erase little board from Dollar Tree. This is got some dinosaurs from Jurassic World. It's a little dry erase board, and it comes with a little dry erase marker, and the marker has a little eraser. Super cute. We also have this little chalkboard from the dollar store, and this little sidewalk chalk, it's also from the dollar store. So we will be practicing writing our letters and using our little chalkboard from the dollar store. You've seen me use this board before. This is a Montessori letter tracing board. It has the uppercase letters on one side and it has the lowercase letters on the other side. This is also an excellent way to practice tracing. I found this alphabet border. This is the kind that you put around, like in your room, if you have a room at home that you use for your child or your classroom. It has all the letters of the alphabet, but what I'm going to be doing with this, I cut the letters, some of them individually already, And so we're going to be using these. We can trace the letter, or we can use a manipulative to form the letter. So let's say that we've been learning about bees and we are tracing this letter using my little manipulative. These are mini erasers, and we're going to form the letter J for his name. These are some of the things that I use with my grandson. Like, instead of using a thin pencil with him, I really like these chunky pencils. These are perfect for little hands. I bought 2 of these. There's 2, and I think I paid like $1.50 for the 2 pencils. These are perfect for little hands. I also like the chunky crayons instead of the thin crayons that you get, like 24 crayons in the box. I like the chunky ones because, again, he's able to use these a lot better. These are perfect for little toddler hands. They also had these crayons at the dollar store. These are Dr. Seuss, and these are Sesame Street, and they're the chunky ones. Super cute. Like, the green one has Oscar the Grouch, and the red one has Elmo. The yellow has Big Bird. And again, they're the chunky crayons that your child will be able to hold them and work a lot better than with the thin ones. I also found this colored pencils. These are from Dollar General, and I did pay $1 for these. And again, you can see the difference. A lot easier for toddler hands to work with. And so if you have a dollar store close by, I know some of you do not, but if you do, it'll be really worth it looking for these color pencils and crayons to help your child be able to, start working with his pencil grip and forming his letters later on. Another thing I do with my grandson is have him practice. These are little Play-Doh molds, and you can use Play-Doh. Today I'm using kinetic sand. So all he's going to do is press so he can form his letters. This is A. We can do A, and then we can do the letter B at the bottom. Super fun activity, just using some Play-Doh or kinetic sand as your child is pressing and holding the little mold using his little Pincer Grasp. I showed you this Smart Start writing paper that I really like. I showed you how I laminated this. My grandson uses this a lot. And if you don't have this kind of paper, you can actually buy some of these little writing tablets from the dollar store. This one was $1. It has 60 sheets. I like that it has all the letters and numbers, 0 and then 1 through 9. You can do the same thing as the Smart Start paper. You can trace the bottom line with a green crayon, and then the top line with blue, and then the middle one with red. And then you can have your child practice writing his letters on these little tablets from the dollar store. These two were from Target, I think, from their $1 bin, and same thing. These, like this is Sophia the First, and it comes like with all the letters of the alphabet, like A, and they put Academy, and then B for books, and so on. It has all the letters of the alphabet. This one is Doc McStuffin, and same thing. A, ambulance, B, Band-Aid, and so on. So these are $1. So you can buy some of these for your child to practice writing his letters. This set of printables is from totschooling.net. You have to go and get the printable yourself. This set of printables is from education.com. And then this one for name practice is from seaofknowledge.org. You can actually go to the website and type your child's name, and then you get this printout. This is from seaofknowledge.org. Another thing I do with my grandson is use this learning notebook. We call it his interactive notebook. He's been coloring the letters, then tracing the letter, then a couple of days later he can go back and trace with a different color. He's been putting stickers, and he's been using some letter stamps that we have. These are from Learning Resources, so he can use that and stamp some letters on the page. We have several kinds. These I found at the thrift store, and so we can use those too. And then we also have this tiny ones. We found these at Target, and these are just different ways of getting him to practice, stamping the letters and just practicing, using his little Pincer Grasp. Just a fun way to learn his letters, to strengthen his little hands. You can also use some stickers and have your child place some stickers on the page. Just different ways to encourage them to use their little hands and strengthen those little hand muscles. This is another fine motor skills activity. I'm using this alphabet beads. There's 360 little alphabet beads. These were from Walmart. And so I just have my grandchild put the letters for his name as he's picking up the little letters and then putting them on the pipe cleaner using his little Pincer Grasp. Just a fun way to practice, forming words or your child's name. Whatever you're working on, this is a great activity. Thank you all so much for watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed all the activities I had for you today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.